Hello, this is Sean Walters, and what's your name?
Mike Apple.
And this is our presentation on flash photography. In the beginning of our presentation, which is right now, we're going to show you some warnings of what not to do with your camera.
Warning number 1. While testing your flash, do not flash it in somebody's eyes. This can cause them to become very irate and aggressive.
What do you think you're doing?
Warning number 2. Never put a camera in a microwave oven. Ready for the start button.
Oh no, what are you doing?
Well, it's probably done now. Okay, now don't mind the smoke coming off of it. Okay, now that just means it's kind of warm, okay? I hope this still works because we're filming it.
Well, thank you for those helpful tips, Mike. That was really needed.
Thanks for punching me in the face.
You're welcome.
I was being sarcastic. Okay, now to start off with. Flash photography is defined as an electronic source of light that defines shadows, brightens the picture. Flash photography is a very common type of photography which is used by many photographers today. The attachment of the flash is very simple. It's attached to the camera and becomes a form of bright yet harsh direct light. When taking a photograph, the ASA/ISO dial is part of every flash that is taken. The shutter speed does not directly put forth an effort to exposure when using the flash unit. Determining the best f-stop to use depends on what the flash unit is like in itself. When using a manual flash unit, uses the exposed dials to calculate the correct f-stop. The dial has located on it a film speed scale, aperture scale, and a distance scale all in one. Determining distance to the subject is the most difficult of all. Automatic flash units get rid of all the links of going to the trouble of recalculate exposure. Now, right here on this camera, here's the, I don't know if you can see it, but on the back there is the chart. The electronic flash is a good source of light. Location, exposure control, and visual quality make it unlike any other type of light source. The flash is the only part of the camera where light sources are located overhead and strike the subject from different angles, which create shadows that help define shape and mass. All in all, flash photography is one of the most important features of the camera.
In the absence of adequate light, photographers use artificial light to illuminate the scenes, both indoors and out. The most commonly used source of artificial illumination are the electronic flash, or strobe. Tungsten lamps, often called photo floods, and quartz lamps. Another once popular light source, the flash bulb, a disposable bulb filled with oxygen and a mass of fine magnesium alloy wire that fired only once, is largely obsolete, having been replaced by inexpensive, economical electronic flash units. The electronic flash, or stroboscope, consists of a glass quartz tube filled with an inner gas, a halogen, and extremely low pressure. When high volume is applied to the extreme, whoa, no flashes, please, no pictures. Although large-scale special units can produce a flash of, whoa, 1/100,000th of a second. This is most useful. Synchronization is achieved through an electrical connection between camera and flash unit. Either a bracket mounted on top of the camera, called a hot shoe, or a cord called a snitch cord that runs from the camera's synchronization socket to the flash. Now, as Mike has just demonstrated, flashes are most useful in the dark. They can produce a tremendous amount of light in just plain old dark. And as he blinded me and lost my track in this report, I thank you.
That's revenge. Automatic flash units are equipped with sensors, photocells that automatically adjust to the duration of the flash for a particular scene. The sensor, which measures the intensity of the flash as it occurs, cuts off the light when adequate illumination is obtained. Dedicated flash, a newer type of automatic flash, is designed to function as a unit with a particular camera. The electronic circuitry of the flash and camera are integrated. The sensor is located inside the camera and gauges the amount of light at the film plane, allowing more accurate measurement of the flash intensity.
Hey, stupid, look out!
Flash units vary in size from small camera-mounted units to large studio units. Generally speaking, the larger the unit, the greater the intensity of light produced. Camera-mounted flashes are adequate for illuminating small scenes, but to illuminate large scenes evenly and with a single burst of light, a powerful studio unit is needed. Photofloods, incandescent bulbs with filaments thinner than those used in ordinary light bulbs, provide continuous light. For normal color rendition and color photography, photofloods must be used with either tungsten balanced film or a light balancing filter. Quartz lighting, the standard of television industry, because of the great intensity of light produced and relative longevity of the bulbs when compared to tungsten sources, is also popular among still photographers. Serious photographers use exposure meters to measure the intensity of light in a given situation to determine the proper combination of shutter speed and diaphragm aperture. 4 major types of meters are in use: incident light, reflected light, spot, and flash. What's that? What's that? Hey!
Nice arm, boy!
You and oh, my arm!
Mike, what happened?
Well, while you're in the bathroom, some idiot come in and tore my arm off.
Who was it?
I don't know.
Oh, well, in that case.
What? That brings up a good point. You were in the bathroom for an awful long time.
That's none of your business. Okay, get on with your report.
Yeah.
That's sick. I'll finish it for you.
Thanks.
Incident light meters measure the intensity of light falling on a subject. To take an incident light reading, the meter is placed alongside the subject and pointed at the camera. Reflected light meters measure the intensity of light reflected by the subject. They are read with the meter at the camera pointed toward the subject. Most incident meters can be modified as reflected light meters. Spot meters measure the reflected light in an area as little as 1 degree, whereas the types mentioned above cover much broader angular range, from 30 to 50 degrees for a reflected light meter, to 180 degrees for a regular light meter. Flash meters are designed to measure the only split-second burst emitted by flash units. Combination meters are designed with incident light, reflected light, and flash metering capability. Warning number 3. As Mike has demonstrated, do not ever open the door to a hungry alien.
Or a maniac that has a machete in his hand.
That too.
If your hand gets torn off and it's still moving like this, does that mean there's a problem?
I don't know.
Flash photography warning number 4. If you tore your hand off and it starts scampering on the table, you should probably see a psychiatrist.
Warning number 5 in flash photography, the final and last warning. Do not, and I repeat, do not stick a moving hand in the microwave.
Get in there, get in there. Sorry about your gloves, Sean. Now that we got rid of thing, I guess you can continue this learning session. The simplest meters contain a photoelectric cell that generates tiny electric currents when exposed to light and moves a pointer across a scale. The meter is equipped with an adjustable dial indicating the film speed.
Keep going. Sorry, we needed to pause for a break. Sorry for that little interruption. Now, as you were saying, Mike.
Speed. When the dial is aligned with the pointer, the meter shows the various combinations of shutter speeds and apertures that will produce equivalent exposures and camera that can be set accordingly. In some meters, photoconductive cadmium sulfide like, what'd you do? What'd you do?
Keep reading.
Shows the various combinations of shutter speed and aperture that will produce equivalent exposures, and the camera can be set accordingly. Some meters, a photoconductive cadmium sulfide cell serves the light-sensitive elements. Powered by a mercury battery, the cell is extremely sensitive, even under low light conditions. A late 1980s innovation was the use of silicon diodes as a light receptor. Meters equipped with these have even greater sensitivity to light than cadmium sulfide cells. Wow, I didn't know that. What's so funny? I didn't. For studio photography, a special meter that measures the color temperature of light is often used. Different wavelengths of light correspond to particular temperatures expressed in degrees Kelvin. See the guy that makes clothes? Calvin Klein.
Calvin Klein, yeah. I bet so.
And different kinds of lighting have their own specific color temperatures. Color temperatures meters allow precise measurements of the light emitted by various kinds of bulbs. This is essential for professional color photography done indoors under artificial lighting because the color temperatures of fluorescent and incandescent bulbs varies from manufacturer to manufacturer, and the color temperature of a bulb can also change with age. End conclusion.
What are you talking about? We're not even done. Gosh. All in all, flash photography is one of the most important features in the camera. Thank you. Sorry, we took a brief break so Mike's genetically enhanced arm could grow back.
Hey,
how's it feeling?
It's fine. I mean, they did a really great job when they did that to my brain.
I think we better start talking about photography.
Okay, now we're going to move on to the camera itself. And this is basically a camera. It's kind of an older camera. And here's a flash. What this flash comes on, there's a little plug-in that allows the button to go. You have it here, and there's the on-off switch, and this is the turn this on. It takes about 7 seconds for it to be fully up. So.
Oh, you say you want some 7-Up, Mike?
Sure.
Delightful.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
And then we have it turned on, and then there's a test button also that tests to see if the light's working, see if the batteries are all right. And then you can there's a little slot on your camera where it slides in, like so. Okay, there we are. And there's also, on this camera, there's a little plug-in where the flash goes. Now, not all flashes are the same, particular cameras will have various flashes that go with it. This happens to be a Vivitar electronic flash. It's electronic because it has batteries in it. It's not wheel powered. And
Wheel powered.
I have to go and you wind this up. And focus it. What's so funny?
Your hat.
Okay. You get focused, and then this is all plugged in, and when I hit this button, the flash will go off. It's pretty cool.
Boy, did that blind you?
No, shouldn't have. Now, you have to make sure all the proper settings are set. Yeah, and then your the picture should turn out. You just, to find out what your settings the camera has to be on for it to work out, you just look at this chart on the back. It'll say what you should do and everything. It's pretty self-explanatory, but for all the dummies out there that don't know, this is basically how you do it. Alright?
We know this has kind of been a goof-off presentation, but we have had a lot of good points in it about photography, flash photography. Nice juggling, Mike.
Thanks. Now it's time for the interactive part of our program. We're going to let you, the viewers, ask one of us a question. Now, are there any questions?
Only one question.
In the back row,
Capel.
Yeah, that's it, Capel.
Not Scobie.
Yeah, what's your question?
Well, you usually use it at night. That's what I'd say, right?
Yeah. Are you stupid? What kind of question is that?
Okay. Well, thank you for that one question, and...
These are all very good questions, and thanks.
Okay.
Does this
Bye.
end our session?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
Goodbye.
Our session is ended. Goodbye.
Bye.